Hey everyone! Welcome back to my Let's Play of the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles! When we last left off, we picked back up with investigating Kazuma's murder crime scene, and this weird dude popped up, who I'm pretty is Herlock Sholmes, who I don't really know much about besides the fact that he's like the fake Sherlock Holmes, or like the real one, and copyright, they had to change it, that weird jumble of stuff, and we're gonna go talk to him because Susato is a huge fan, I think. So I want to say thank you guys so much for your continued support of the series. I hope you're still having fun. Sorry if the last episode was a little short. I don't remember how long it was, but I'm going to try to make this one a little bit longer. I just got to balance things with work and coming back from vacation and stuff. So let's just jump right back in and talk to the crazy guy, who I'm going to have to make British. Excuse me? Question mark, question mark, question mark. Oh, excuse me, do you have a moment? Shh, this is a critical point in my investigation. I get to be Sherlock Holmes, I'm very excited. Maybe I should leave him alone. He seems a little unfriendly. Yes, perhaps that would be for the best. Oh god! Oh Jesus Christ! Greetings, I hope I haven't kept you long! Ah! What exactly were you doing on Kazuma's desk just now? Ah, I see. Fascinating. Sorry? What do you see? Feels like he's looking right through me. Oh yes, everything is clear now. The train of reasoning has run its course. My deductions have crystallized. You have been in Afghanistan, I perceive. Just recently returned, if I'm not mistaken. Sorry? What? And now, whilst venturing toward foreign climes, you find yourself in a most troubling predicament. Oh, well, that's true at least. 1 for 2. But how? How the deuce did I know that, perhaps? It was really a most elementary deduction, hardly worth explaining. Have you perhaps managed to deduce anything else? But of course, a great many things. There is no mystery, my dear madam. For example, you have fled your native land of Russia, being, as you are, a merciless revolutionary. You leave 16 victims of assassination in your wake and now travel to England to blow up the Crystal Tower. What? And when the be-ribboned occupant of this very cabin discovered your identity, you ended his life too. Yes, I believe that summarizes the facts beautifully. No need to hide the truth now. Nothing deceives these eyes. Just to be clear, you are talking about me, are you? Certainly I am. Do you see another in this cabin who fits the bill? A Russian assassin with 16 victims to his name. I don't even see one person who fits the bill. So it's true. It was you who did this to Kazuma-sama. What? And you're plotting a revolution too. It's shameful behavior, Naruhodo-san. Absolutely wicked. No, listen, there's no way Hiya! Okay, girl, you know me. We literally lived in Japan together. Now explain yourself. Tell me everything. This is ridiculous. Bitch, you crazy. Sorry I threw you. How could you do it? For pity's sake, open your eyes. I'm not a Russian revolutionary, obviously. Oh, forgive me. And as for you, what kind of deduction was that? You were just saying the first thing that came into your head. But was I not right? Whilst venturing toward foreign climes, you do find yourself in a most troubling predicament, do you not? Well, yes, maybe. Ha! There you have it, you see? What do you make of that, huh? Well, to be honest, I think you're crazy. The ship is en route to England, and I'm in handcuffs at the scene of a murder. So, I'm not really sure you could call it deduction. It's more plain observation. Indeed, an observation, my dear boy, is the basis of all deduction. My method is founded upon the observation of trifles, you see. I announce my findings with a brassy certitude, and more often than not, I'm right. Ha! I don't think you introduced yourself. Indiana Jones. No, I'm kidding. Oh, my apologies. How remiss of me. I am none other than the greatest detective of the century, known to men and women the world over. The inimitable Herlock Sholmes. Inimitable. So, it's really you? The actual Herlock Sholmes? The very same. The inimitable actual Herlock Sholmes. I hate that word, even though it's in Hamilton. Do you know this man, Suzato-san? The most famous detective in the world? Naruhodo-san, of course I do! There's nobody who hasn't heard of him. What planet have I been living on, then? We must ask him what he's deduced. I mean, he's been wrong with everything so far, so, he will have worked out the entire case already, I'm sure. Really? Why do I feel uneasy about this? Oh, my headset. Oh, there we go. Sorry, I was like fiddling a little bit. Converse. Great detective in air quotes. So, you're a great detective, are you? Sorry, what was your name again? Indeed, I am none other than the one and only Herlock Sholmes. Oh, I see. You're German? Herlock, was it? No, I have no hair. I mean, I have hair. Please, call me Sholmes. You can read all about my exploits in this exciting London publication. Oh yes, Rant's magazine, full of wonderful short stories and interest articles from Great Britain. I never miss an issue. I have it sent from England especially. Ah yes, here it is. The Adventures of Herlock Sholmes. So, you're the protagonist in a series of short stories then? Indeed I am. And you've read so many of your own stories, you've started to think you really are a detective? Make no mistake, I'm not the poor deluded fellow you take me for. Your inference is backward. I was like, interference? Backward? My trusty biographer records my greatest detecting achievements and chronicles them in the magazine. You have a biographer, do you? Doesn't everyone? Mine goes by the name of Dr. Wilson, presently keeping shop in London. Dr. Wilson? Oh, dude, he dead. I must say, thanks to that publication, I've been fantastically busy of late. Stop doing that. Why, this very moment I am returning from Asia, having solved the mystery of a cursed royal crown. Really, I can't work out whether I should take this man seriously or not. Deduction, you see, is to me a science, a logical reasoning in its purest form. A science? Really? The astute observer notices even the most subtle of reactions in his subject. A furtive glance, a twitch of a muscle, a slight inclination of the posture. Fingernails, arm sleeves, furrows in the skin, all these things are data. Data! Right! And the trained logician, I hate that word, makes deductions from this data in the blink of an eye. The ultimate conclusion is, without fail, the truth. I don't think that's how that works, as I demonstrated only a few short moments ago. How can he look me in the eye and claim that? So you see, I have a turn both for observation and for deduction, and fame. That is what makes me the one and only Herlock Sholmes. Oh, It's great. Kazuma's dead. Have you managed to deduce anything about this particular case yet? Have I managed to deduce anything, my dear fellow? Who do you suppose discovered the culprit in his most cunning hiding place? That's right! It was none other than the great detective before you now, Mr. Herlock Sholmes. Ah, I see. In other words, I'm in these now because of him. Just like punch him in the face. When I became anxious about Kazuma-sama this morning, I summoned all of the crew members to force the cabin door open. And I concealed myself among their number, gaining entry to the scene of the crime. That's not sketch at all. Yes, luckily for everyone, the great detective Herlock Sholmes was on board. And the handcuffs seem to be an excellent fit, Mr. Naruhodo. Ugh. The very moment I laid eyes on the scene, 2 facts were immediately apparent to me. Oh really? 2 facts, you say? Someone died, and they died on the floor. Oh, 2 facts? Oh god. Tell me the facts. Mr. Sholmes, tell us, please. What 2 facts are apparent to you when you came into this cabin this morning? Ah yes, but first, let us be precise. The 2 facts in question were immediately apparent to me. Yes, I understand, but what were they? Allow me to elucidate. The 2 facts that I deduced from a mere momentary glance at the scene of the crime were as follows. Number 1, the cabin was locked from within, rendering escape of the culprit out of the question. Number 2, the victim was Russian and killed following a dispute with an acquaintance. Hold on, Mr. Sholmes. What made you think the victim was Russian? Observe the dying message left by the victim on the floor. It is in Russian. I don't know how to say that. That is the Russian word for wardrobe. Do you really think Kazuma-sama could have left a dying message in Russian? Does he know Russian? In the final moments, many find their native tongue filling their head. For this young man, Russian. Kazuma was Russian, was he? Initially, I considered Godrobe might be the name of the killer, a certain Robert God, perhaps. But in the interest of thoroughness, I decided it would be wrong not to look inside the wardrobe there at least. Where you found Mr. Naruhodo sleeping soundly. Tired after murdering a boy. Quite so, I found you, the renowned Russian revolutionary killer. Why is it that I'm Russian too? I observed that you were wearing the same attire as the victim. In other words, you were acquainted. And if my memory serves, that outfit is the traditional dress of the Russian people. Our school uniforms are the traditional dress of the Russian people? I had no idea. And I had no idea a detective could get something so wrong. I took a photograph of the victim and the message that I might analyze it for possible hidden details. Oh no! This was taken immediately after the young man was discovered, before the body was removed. Yes, Kazuma had already been taken away when I woke up. This is the first time I've actually seen him like this. No, my boy! Are you alright, Mr. Naruhodo? Oh, yes, thank you. Photograph of the crime scene has been entered into the court record. The Russian word for wardrobe in purple ink, it would appear to have been written in the victim's final moments. Interesting. Can I ask you something, Mr. Sholmes? What, pray? You mentioned Russia before as well, didn't you? You know, when you said I was a fearsome revolutionary fleeing from Russia and all that? Ah yes, the train of reasoning that led me to the truth. Would you mind explaining that train of reasoning to me, do you think? Certainly, if it suits you. How many times? I'm not Russian and I don't speak Russian. Your deduction just now. Can we talk about your deduction before? The things you concluded about me, I mean? Ah, the now famously accurate troubling predicament you find yourself in. Actually, it was the other details that I was more hoping to discuss. You know, the merciless Russian revolutionary and assassin of 16 part. Ah, yes, the more sordid details. It was a fairly commonplace deduction. Here we have this morning's paper. The main headline reads, Revolutionary villain Bolshevik flees Russia via Shanghai. Aha. This vessel made a port call at Shanghai yesterday, and last night the young Russian was murdered. Since when was Kazuma a Russian? It sounds like Mr. Sholmes has concluded he was Russian because of what Kazuma-sama wrote on the floor. But we know he's not, girl. It was a simple act of reasoning to realize that the culprit of this crime was the same merciless revolutionary. One who would kill the very man who helped him to escape after his true identity was discovered. Yes, you, violent Bolshevik. No, 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 how could it be me? I don't look anything like this man. Just look at his face. I don't have that nose. Well, you are a fearsome revolutionary after all. Therefore, you have no doubt learned to revolutionize your appearance as well. Ugh, please. And, I might add, your name does not appear on the ship's passenger list. Need I say more? Well, that's because I'm a stowaway. What about the other details? The 16 victims of assassination and blowing up the Crystal Tower? Ah, yes. The journalist clearly interviewed the man and printed all his particulars in the article. The deeds the man has perpetrated thus far and those he is plotting. Yes, everything about this revolutionary Bolshevik was included. There could be no mistake. Do revolutionaries usually agree to interviews with newspaper reporters, I wonder? And what about the part where you said I was just returning from Afghanistan? Also quite clearly stated here in the article. Bolshevik has recently returned after a period of subversive activities in a war-torn region of Afghanistan. Where even is it, anyway? This Afghanistan place. Here, take the paper for yourself, as a little memento of this great deduction. AKA you read a paper. What? Oh, thank you? I've absorbed all that is of interest to me within its pages, but I see no rubbish bin nearby. Therefore, you are the rubbish bin. Eat it. No, I'm kidding. Okay, so article about revolutionary, article on the front page of a Russian newspaper. The headline reads, Revolutionary violent Bolshevik flees Russia via Shanghai. Did we come from Shanghai, though? Like, how did I even get on the ship? And you may find the article on the back page of interest as well. On the back? Cast your eye over it sometime if the interest takes you, though you may need someone to interpret. It's all written in Russian. I couldn't hope to read it. But I suppose it wouldn't hurt just to glance at the article. Maybe there might be a picture or two. We can read pictures? Can I look? Let's see. Anything to look at? Is he right-handed? That's always something that comes up. His bandana is no longer flowing. I am sad. Okay, nothing there. Oh! A ballerina! This is interesting. Have you found something relevant, Naruhodo-san? Well, no, I mean, it looks like it might be interesting. I can't read a single word, I'm afraid. No, nor can I. But look at this picture. Perhaps it's about a beautiful young Russian princess, do you think? She is very pretty, isn't she? I suppose you enjoy articles like this, do you? I don't know. I can't make any sense of it. Oh, I'm glad you've noticed this article. Allow me to give you a short summary of its contents. Oh, thank you. Pops up everywhere, this Mr. Sholmes. Did he do it? I don't know. I think he's in the game for a long time though, so I'm guessing he didn't do it. It's about the disappearance of a young lady last night. Renowned prima ballerina of the Novovik Ballet disappears from Shanghai. They both were in Shanghai? That's kind of suspicious. During a performance in Shanghai, the famous dancer was reported missing. She is, of course, the talented young Nikolina Pavlova. Why are Russian names so hard to remember? It would appear the woman was in costume when she was found to be missing from her dressing room. Wearing the diamond tiara you see pictured, which is worth some 20,000 rubles. Oh, how much is 20,000 rubles? I have no idea, but I'm quite sure. It must be an unbelievable sum of money. Susato-san's eyes are shining like diamonds themselves. She loved that money. The tiara is the property of the Novovic Ballet. It would seem the director is beside herself with worry. Yes, I'm not surprised. The company is most anxious to recover both Miss Pavlova and the valuable tiara. They've requested international assistance at all ports with sailings to Great Britain. Could this be another case of a Russian fleeing his or her country? It does seem to be the Russian thing to do. I'm not even going to dignify that with a response, Mr. Naruhodo. Okay, article about ballerina. Article on the back of a Russian newspaper. Headline reads, renowned prima ballerina of the Novovic Ballet disappears from Shanghai. It can't be a coincidence that they both disappeared from Shanghai, right? Like, zero chance. We already read this? I'm afraid I can't read a word of Russian. No, me neither. I have no idea what any of this says. The pair of you floundering as this all recites. Allow me to offer some assistance. The article on the front page of this newspaper is concerned with a fearsome Russian revolutionary. It reads, a revolutionary, violent boy, yep, we know that. Yes, he told us that before. It reveals also that those who see the man's beard with their own eyes never live to tell the tale. Oh my goodness, he is fearsome. Well, presumably the newspaper photographer was alright, wasn't he? The solution is obvious, of course. If he despises his beard to that degree, he need only to shave it off. I'm not quite sure that's the problem, Mr. Sholmes. Yikes. Alright. We looked at that. We got those two. That's not anything different. Can I look at this? Oh, and I can! You can do this in like every Ace Attorney game, and they'll say something about their badge. Ah, the symbol of Yume University. Every student wears this pin with pride. It's funny, but most emblems seem to be either round or rectangular. I like this spike design, even though it doesn't really make any sense. Although, it does cause problems. Lots of students end up cutting their fingers on their badges. Oh god. Perhaps it was the idea of one of the founders. A sharp pin for a sharp mind or something? Nice. Alright, what you were just investigating. Before we started talking, you were examining Cosmo's desk, weren't you? Cosmo. Oh yes, the victim. The Russian boy. Did you notice anything useful? Anything at all? Observe for a moment the desktop of the victim. Did you read his diary? Oh, he definitely read his diary. We see that the victim was engaged in penning some text. London diary. Cosmo is keeping notes of the trip. But she'll throw you if you read it. I don't think you should read his private writings. It could upset people. Looking at you, Susato. Tragic. And something you ought to perhaps elucidate before the act of reading. You mean you've read it already? It is my business to know what other people do not. Yes, believe it or not, I know a smattering of Japanese. Oh, I see. Well, you're about to know what a Susato takedown is. Come on, Susato, I pay for this. Susato-san, aren't you gonna throw the detective with one of your trademark takedowns? I'm sorry, Naruhodo-san. What on earth do you mean? Life is so unfair. Anyway, to return to the matter at hand, namely this diary belonging to the victim. It would appear the final sentence is incomplete, as if the author were cut short. Tell me, what is the nature of the writing? Pray, be precise as to details. Oh, but I thought you knew Japanese? A smattering, dear boy, a smattering. Sayonara, bonsai, mikado. Nado nado, I trust you're suitably impressed. Huh. But this diary is littered with complicated looking characters of which I can read precisely none. Ah ha ha ha! So what was all that showing off about before then? If you would be so kind as to show me, I would be happy to read it to you, Mr. Sholmes. I'm much obliged, my dear madam. Ugh. The final entry here in Kazuma-sama's diary consists of just 2 short sentences. The first reads, 1:23 a.m. I can hear a faint whistling sound. A whistling sound? These are very deep waters. Pray, go on. The second sentence reads, 1:35 a.m. What looks like some sort of speckled band is dangling from the ventilator grill. A speckled band? What on earth does that mean? I have no idea. I've never heard that expression before. The ventilator grill, you say? The man was presumably referring to the ventilator. To the lattice there on the wall, which connects to the adjoining cabin. Yes, the adjoining cabin. Kazuma's diary has been entered. Oh yeah, Diary Kazuma was giving a trip to London. According to the last entry he made before his death, he spied what appeared to be a speckled band. This is very interesting because I think in the speckled band story, the snake was brought into the room by means of, I think, a whistle. Like, it was trained to go do what it was supposed to because of the whistle. But I feel like they're drawing on people's knowledge of that to kind of make you think what's going on. So I'm not gonna lean too heavily on that. I mean, we didn't see like puncture wounds or anything, so I don't think he was killed by a snake. I guess it could have like strangled him or something, I don't know. I don't think you would have had time to write a message though if you had a snake fighting him. So, I believe I've given you enough to consider for the time being at least. Do you have somewhere to go? Take me with you! As it happens, the victim's writing in his diary have piqued my interest. Yuck, the matter warrants further investigation, I believe, and if I am still too long, the seasickness takes hold. Oh, I suppose. You're thinking of investigating the cabin next door, which the ventilator connects to? Great detectives are a curious breed. Our minds rebel at stagnation. We crave mental exaltation. So yes, I intend to investigate, hence the truth will become clear soon enough. Do you think perhaps that we could go with you? No, that would be somewhat complicated. What? But why? A simple glance at your wrist should reveal the answer. You're guilty. Oh, these. After all, you're the prime suspect in this matter. No. There's no point in trying to turn it into a question. You're the one who decided I was the culprit in the first place. Whatever do you mean? I have no recollection of naming you as the culprit at any point. You must be joking. You just said it only a moment ago. Dear me, you are clearly misguided. I would have no cause to say such a thing. Well, actually, Mr. Sholmes, I did hear you say that too. You're quite sure? Well, that's very strange. I blacked out for 20 minutes. I wouldn't have said you had the face of a criminal, you know. Not really. So what? Were you looking at my knees before? Some great detective you are. Well, anyway, that was then and this is now. What do you mean? I'm having whiplash, man. What I mean, sir, is this. If you are the culprit, then you must play the part more convincingly. Roll over and accept your fate. Ah ha ha ha. Now he's just being plain rude. Bro, I do not like you. And off he goes, having just laughed in my face. His sense of humor is as twisted as his name. Naruhodo-san, what are you just standing there for? Huh? We must go and investigate the cabin next door as well. Aren't you forgetting something? What about these? There's no way I can— Hiya! Damn, girl. After Kazuma-sama spent his dying moments struggling to leave us a clue, you're willing to give up? You're just gonna roll over and accept your fate? As if you gave me any choice in the rolling over part. Man, she flipped a switch. I think we still have some investigation to finish off in here first, don't we? Let's carry on examining what we can in this cabin while we wait for a chance to slip next door. Good idea. The situation doesn't look good for me, but there are still things I can do to help myself. And I owe it to Cosmo to do everything I can to find a way out of this, and bring the real culprit to justice. I'm gonna help you out, bro. Is that? Is something wrong, Naruhodo-san? Is that Hosonaga? Oh, no. It's just that crewmate standing by the door. I can't help feeling like I've seen him somewhere before. Oh yes, you're right. He does look familiar. Excuse me, sir. Hosonaga? Yes. What can I do for you? Oh, yo, bro, it's you! I recognize that face, but it can't be. Yep, he's dying still. It's him. It is! I didn't know you were here, Inspector Hosonaga. Oh god, too many British voices. SOS. Hello again. What are you doing here? I think that should be my line. I was so stunned when I saw you, my heart stopped. Nearly stopped, I hope. Oh, nearly stopped. Whoops. I received some special orders to go undercover as a member of the crew on board this ship. Again? You certainly seem to enjoy undercover work, Inspector. I'm damn good at my job. If there's anything I can do to help you, please ask. I never expected to see this man on board. But perhaps his presence can help me out of this hopeless situation. Can you karate chop these handcuffs off of me, bro? Alright, I made this one a little longer. I tried to talk less this time. Sorry, I was like chit-chatting last time. But I think I'm going to call it an episode here. I'm really excited to continue on with this case. It's very fun so far. I like the characters. Herlock Sholmes is kind of crazy. Can't say I like him yet, but maybe he'll grow on me, so we'll see. I don't dislike him. It's just that he's kind of like a reckless cannon, or a cannon that's constantly shooting off cannonballs. I don't know. But thank you guys so much for watching. As always, feel free to leave a like, comment, favorite, or subscribe, whatever you guys are feeling. And until the next time, lights off, dark out.